Welcome back, friends, to a beautiful day on the homestead. Today I'm going to answer three of the most common questions that have come in. Number one is, what happened to the heart racer? Where's Brian? And will I be doing wildland firefighting this summer? So I apologize for we're doing a Q&A today. The content's going to be kind of changing a little bit over the next couple weeks into more daily vlogs, because what I'm doing right now and the patching and painting at the house and fixing little broken toilet lines and little light fixtures, it's just not all that interesting. But when we move over to the new place, I think it's going to be really, what I'm so excited about is that I think if you jump into the channel and you want to start a garden, or you want to start your own small homestead on a scale, and you see this already done and all of the expensive equipment and all those things, it's somewhat disheartening, because you think, rightfully so, you know, good grief, I can't get started like that. And we didn't start that way either. Mrs. W and I, we cleared almost all of this land by hand before we even had a tractor, so I understand and I can relate. Why I'm excited for the new land is we're going to be starting from scratch, so and doing everything, because the infrastructure is really not there. So if you're thinking about doing this, you're basically going to be able to follow along with us, and I'll be able to share all of the mistakes that I made in the previous one. So that's kind of where we're going. That's why I'm so excited. So, and finally, before we get to the questions, I used to think that the arborists were the worst the most annoying people in the comments, the most elitist. You know, I've spoke to this in the past, and this is a little tongue-in-cheek, but I'll tell you, you ham radio guys, the triggering that is happening for me having a ham radio without a license in my pocket is unbelievable. I've never in my life met such a bunch of old women ninnies as you guys. Give me a break. Just stop with the comments. I will get the ham license. I'm not using it. I'm just scanning. I'm just listening. We have a private frequency that we can use that's dialed in. There's more to the picture than you know. So leave me alone. Give me a break and stop calling the feds on me. They don't care. I can tell you that. So here we go. Number one, what happened to the heart racer? The heart racer, bless her, was not compatible with the Sweet Loaf. She was a little dog, and we'd had her for a long time, and it just really broke our hearts. We didn't know what to do with her, because the Sweet Loaf was, you know, played a little bit too rough with her. And you know how little dogs are around kids, you know, they just don't like them. And I think they're scared of them because they're so small, and she was starting to nip and to bite a little bit. And when it comes down to it, when you have to make a decision, no matter how much you love your animals, and trust me, I understand, we love our animals, they're just like family to us, you got to make a hard decision. Fortunately, we had someone in the neighborhood that is an acquaintance with us. We mentioned it, and she said, we would love to have the heart racer. My daughter is I think like 13 or 14, and has been asking for a little dog, and it was really wonderful. So the heart racer has moved on to a new home. So I found out recently that she's been rehomed again to, I think it was maybe this girl's grandfather. Don't quote me on this, but I think so. Was a retired man, and the heart racer is, well, she's in a best possible situation. She has a doting owner, and they sit together on the couch under the blanket, and I'm so happy to hear that. So that's the reason why you don't see the heart racer in the videos anymore. The heart racer, if you don't know, is our little Chihuahua Jack Russell mix that we had for years and years, and everything's good. Nothing wrong with the heart racer. Where's Brian? Where did Brian go? And who's this Jiraiya guy, right? So Brian was, I had hired Brian. He was lived down the road here. He was in between jobs, and it was always kind of a temporary job for him as my personal assistant. Now, I know that sounds all hoity-toity and all that, but it's not. Well, for me to run the homestead and to put up as much content as I do, I need to have some help. Usually, most people who have a channel of this size that does this volume of content at this quality, they have a whole staff. They don't do their own editing. They don't do a lot of stuff. It's all farmed out. I've known people that have had channels my size that have 3 and 4 employees. It's really, really common. So me having a personal assistant it's really important. I wouldn't be able to put up videos without it. So what Brian brought to the table was just helping me out. You know, when things need done or fixed, or firewood stacked, or the tires rotated, or oil changed on vehicles, a lot of those things he would help pick up the slack for me. So Brian worked for me for quite some time. A great man. Just really enjoyed having him here. He was getting serious with his girlfriend and wanted to start raising a family and getting his own home, and found an opportunity as a coding job, which is kind of what his expertise was. that he was able to work from home. And he's just down the road, not too far from here, and he's doing well. And that's that was an opportunity that he couldn't turn down. The company offered him to pay for his schooling and get all of his certifications. I don't know all the details, but it was a good opportunity for him. So he left on the best of terms. I would highly recommend him. So, and what a blessing Jariah has been. Jariah's kind of come in and picked up the slack. He was kind of in between jobs as well. You know, he had a lot of folks have lost work because of the coronavirus and stuff, and I can't tell you what a blessing Jariah has been. He's been helping us get the house ready. He's just incredible skill set, incredibly well read, just a very interesting guy, and just a great blessing. So you'll maybe see a little bit more of him around. I don't know if the question might come up. I don't know if Jariah will be able to make the move with us to the new place, but anything's possible. We'll have to see. You know, everything's kind of fluid right now. So that's what happened to Brian. No problems. Brian's still alive. Heart Racer's still alive. Just he took advantage of that opportunity. Number 3, will I be wildland firefighting? So I don't think I've talked about this before, but I resigned as a volunteer from the fire department a little while back, and there were several reasons for that. One is I'm pretty far away from the station, about 20 minutes or so. And when the calls were coming out, what I was finding was most guys lived a lot closer. They were getting there and they would have to wait on me, and I just couldn't get there in time, and I felt a little bit bad about that. It was just really difficult. I can't tell you how many times that I got up, made the drive down there just to have missed everyone, because, you know, it's not fair to ask them to wait when they need to respond to something. So that was a bit of a problem. And the other thing is there's a lot of problems with the volunteer departments these days because it's so burdensome on the volunteers to keep current with the regulations. In my opinion, the regulations are getting a little out of control. What it seems like is happening is that the standards that need to be met by like a career paid department, that's all of those standards are starting to creep into the volunteer world. Where back in the day, you know, the first time I volunteered, I was 17 or 18 years old. I was still living with my folks at the local department, and it was so easy. It was just so relaxed. You know, there was even a kegerator in the fire department. The guys would run calls and come back and share a beer. You know, it's a shame we can't get back to that. And I know, you know, I mean, everything's become such a nanny state that you know, back then it seemed like guys could be able to be responsible and go run a call and have a beer. And with the volunteer fire department, that camaraderie is so important, because you're not getting paid for it. You're doing it just out of love. And part of a big appeal to a volunteer department is the friendships that you make and that guys working together for a common goal, right? Well, you know, now you gotta, what I was finding is you show up for training, and at the time we were in transition from one chief to a new chief, and we didn't have really a training officer, and I was really getting a little frustrated because I felt that my time was being wasted. You know, when I have to go down there on Tuesday nights for training, and the first half of it's taken up from guys just kind of standing around and not really doing anything, because there's not really any structure, there's no organization. And when you finally get around to the training, that it's something that is not really applicable, like time after time after time, we would be doing, you know, hitting hydrants and throwing big fire hose and big FDCs and all this stuff. And we don't even have any, I don't even think we have one fire hydrant in our district, you know. So, and that's not to blame the fire department. It's definitely not to blame the new incoming chief. It was just kind of a bad time. All this was coming together, and it was annoying to me to go down there like, you know, I'm leaving my family, I'm leaving my wife and my children to come down here to do this, and I feel like my time is being wasted, and that kind of rubbed me the wrong way as well. So again, that's more my hang up than anything else. And then the amount of training that you have to do, and if you're an EMT, it's even worse. Weekends of sitting through PowerPoint. So not only are you Tuesday nights, you know, and getting home at 11 o'clock at night, you know, tired, and then have to go work the next morning. Now your weekends are being taken up by sitting through tedious PowerPoint deals and slideshows and all this mandatory stuff that's required for guys to keep their certifications, to keep current. And it just was really burdensome. And it got to the point where I just like, you know, I got too much going on. I just can't do this. But I do miss it. You know, when I hear the helicopters flying around and I smell the smoke from the wildland fires like the other weekend, and I'm listening to the radio chatter and all that, you know, there's something inside me that really burns to do that. I have a strong passion to do it. I've done it for free, and I do it for free. I love it. I think it's one of the most exciting and coolest jobs in the whole world. So will I do it again? I think so. The nice thing about the new property that we'll be moving to, we're going to be very, very close to the local volunteer fire department. And we also have a ranger station, U.S. Forest Service ranger station right in town as well. And there may be some opportunities to get involved with that. And I'm going to look into it. So I'm not interested in structural firefighting. I did it professionally as a career. I don't like it. I didn't like the environment. I don't really want anything to do with it. And a lot of these volunteer departments, for you to have access to the wildland fire side of it, you have to do both. So in a perfect world, I would like to be able to go to the volunteer, to the chief, and say, hey, I'll be happy to do whatever you guys need done for the wildland, but I'm not interested in doing the structure side in the winter. So will they allow me to do that? I don't know. Another thing that happened, so not only was I doing wildland firefighting for my local fire district, but I also worked really hard to get in with the U.S. Forest Service as what they call an AD. An AD is usually firefighters that have a lot of experience in the wildland, that have something to bring to the Forest Service. And AD stands for is administratively determined. So when the pro crews, your hot shots and your hand crews, your type 1s and type 2s and stuff, when they get overwhelmed in the heat of the season, the Forest Service has this reserve of highly qualified people that they can call in to help out. Could be on engines, hand crews, whatever they need, administratively determined. So this is something I was really excited getting involved with, and it's very competitive and it's hard to get into unless you know someone. Got into it, got into the program, got all signed up with one of the best fire crews in the country. Went through tons of training and got my Sawyer certification, was really excited to go. And right when fire season was kicking up, I got an email from them that just said, we no longer have need of your services, or something to that effect. And I was completely dismayed. I didn't understand why. I mean, I've got a lot of experience, and I'm a good, hardworking guy. I was hoping to really bring something to their crew, and I never got an answer. I emailed and actually called in and finally got a hold of one of the supervisors that kind of helped me get me into it. And she just basically just said, we just don't have need for you. And I was totally confused by it. And that was a couple years ago. And I kind of didn't really think too much about it. I just figured maybe it was staffing problems or budget problems or whatever. Well, I recently, just a few days ago, ran into, I don't want to rat anyone out. I'm not going to say who this person was, but a person that had some information on this that I wasn't aware of. And apparently what happened was that, and I don't even know what video it was, but apparently I did a video where the helmet that they had issued me, it said U.S. Forest Service on the front, my wildland helmet. It was, you know, I've got a lot of gear around here and I keep all the helmets together. Apparently Jack had grabbed this thing and put it on, and he was wearing this in one of the videos that we shot on YouTube. Someone in the government, or I don't know who it was, actually I do know who it was. I'm not going to say who it was. I know the person now. This person saw that and made a big stink and saw to it that I got kicked out of the system, but no one had the balls to tell me why that was. And it was completely unintentional. And I mean, it really, when I found that out a couple days ago, that's really been heavy on my heart the last couple days, because I wanted to do that so bad. I would have done it for free. I would have done anything. I would have done the lowest job. I like to work around with the best. And this crew, I've worked with them before, and some of them are my friends. I was really excited about that, but because of that, and it was innocent. So whoever's watching, it was never intentional. I wasn't trying to pose or to get anyone in trouble, and I would never have done that intentionally, and I didn't even notice it. You know, it's just, maybe it's my fault, you know, but what I disagree with on that is no one had the courage to tell me, even though they knew. And when I was inquiring, they just blew me off, and no one stood up and did that. And that really hurt my feelings. And I thought that was totally unfair. And I'm sad about that. But that's the way it is. So that's why I don't work for the government. And that's the typical type of stuff. I've been too, you know, maybe I'm just too independent for my own good. I've been mostly self-employed majority of my life, and I'm not used to working in that, and I'm not super sensitive to all of the nuance and all of the rules, and you know, it was maybe it was an over, it wasn't, it was my fault. Well, I can't point the blame, but I do point the blame at those who didn't have the courage to tell me man to man, face to face, why they kicked me out of the program. So that's why I'm not working with the UFSS. Will that change? I hope so, but maybe not. You know, it's such a small community, and once you get a reputation in the wildland firefighting community, something like that could haunt you. You could pack that around. It could destroy a career. So if I ever tried to apply again at the new district that I'll be working in, you know, that, I don't know, maybe that might come back to haunt me too. But if you are watching and you're one of those people, it was never intentional. And if I got you in trouble for that, I do apologize, and I would have made it right. But that's what happened. So one of those deals. So I hope. The answer is yes. I hope to be doing it again. I really, really want to do it. And if I can't do it with as an AD, or I can't do it with the local fire district, then I'll probably go private. What I might just do, my friend, oh, I got to tell you about QTAC. Those guys are so awesome. So, oh, and thank you all you guys that gave me all the information about how to repair that tank, because I was at a complete loss. Well, QTAC was, one of their guys was watching the videos. He forwarded that on to the president. He contacted me personally. Such awesome guys. So here's what they offered. So they're going to send me their like $2,000 welding repair kit. And they just asked, please return it to us. You know, it's kind of expensive. We only have one spare, and instructions on how to do that ourselves. So we'll do that together on the video. I don't know if it's going to be successful, but we'll try to make that happen. The other thing I talked to him about while I had his ear on the email is I said, would it be possible for us to get a tank, an 85-gallon tank that will fit in the back of the Pioneer, and then we could set up a UTV fire engine? How cool would that be? I mean, that's been kind of a dream of mine. That would be really versatile, and for small scale and for the land that we will be moving to, that would be more than adequate to deal with brush fires and stuff. It would be very fast attack, and it'd be super awesome. Another positive thing that could come out of this is we could take one of these Hondas, we could set it up, get it all certified with the QTAC fire suppression system, and maybe go in as a contractor on fires. I could get Jack red carded, maybe even Mrs. W red carded. Maybe we could have my parents watch the Sweet Loaf, you know, and Mrs. W and I could go out on fires as a team. Or Jack and I, when he gets a couple years older, go out on a team as a contractor using the UTVs. Maybe we could set up a couple of them. Maybe you have a red card. Maybe you could come out with me. So it doesn't matter. As long as you have a red card, I could put you in an engine. And how cool would that be? We could use the UTVs. We'd have the 85-gallon capacity. We could, you know, because there's certifications we'd have to meet and have all the right tools on there. But we could literally go out as contractors and do it that way too. So that's an option, and that would be pretty cool as well. So that's a little pie in the sky, but it is possible. Mrs. W and I have talked about it. And one last thing, I'll close with this, and I haven't mentioned this before. There's something else that we might be able to do. There is an opportunity, if you're press, to go on to the wildland fire. You can contact is it the POI person of, no, what is it? There's a person that handles press on these big fires. And there are some opportunities that you can go in and video stuff, you know, kind of a public relations side of the fire. And that would be very cool. Maybe we could go through, and Mrs. W is actually, it's on her back burner to kind of see what it requires to do this. But we could go into some of the bigger fires, have everything, you know, I've got the training and all legit, and be able to kind of document this, do documentary short video films for folks to see, and kind of see behind the scenes and what it's like and what the job entails. And that would be, I would love that. I think I would enjoy that more than anything, even being an engine boss. That would be super, super fun. So a lot of opportunities. Where we're moving, we're going to have so many more opportunities for these things, because it puts us in proximity to the environment, to this lifestyle that I like. You know, it's really heavy with wildland fire. You know, there's a ranger station in town. I'm so excited, guys, so excited. So bear with me on the video. We're going to probably be not going to be doing a lot of real detailed how-to stuff, because there's so much stuff to go on to make this transition. It's going to be following along and going to be more of a vlog style. So I do ask you, be patient with us, support us the best you can. I'll put the best quality content I can, but much exciting things. This is a new chapter that's coming that I'm more excited about than anything I've been excited for in my whole life. So thanks for watching. May God bless you and your families. Please keep my family in your prayers, and we'll see you guys on the next video.